I'm feeling very old this morning, I can't lie. So I've just gone on to X, opened up my phone. 7 years ago today, Liverpool beat Barcelona 4-0. 7 years ago. How has that been 7 years already? 7 years ago today, Liverpool beat Barcelona 4-0, and I can't believe it. On top of that, it's Cody Gakpo's 27th birthday, which means I am older than Cody Gakpo. Welcome along to the Existential Crisis Agenda. My name is Conor, and I'm here to go through all of the latest Liverpool news, as Liverpool have announced they have made a change to the ticketing prices. We have some more news around Arne Slot potentially keeping his job. We have a few bits around Caoimhín Kelleher, Jadon Danns, and Stefan Bajcetic, and lots more. There's not lots more, that's pretty much everything, but I will go into more detail in a second. Like I said, welcome along. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button, and let's jump straight into it. So, let's start off with the ticket prices then. So, the club have put out a statement this morning, and The Athletic have posted it as well, saying Liverpool have revised plans to increase ticket prices following protests and lengthy discussions with the club's supporters board. While the 3% inflation-based rise for general admission next season will remain, there will now be a freeze on prices for the 2027-28 season. So it does look like as well that the supporters boards, I know like Spirit of Shankly and a few others are involved in these discussions. They seem to have accepted it as far as I can see, so I don't expect there to be any more protests or anything around the ground unless something changes. But at the current moment, it does look like the club will be putting a 3% inflation based rise next season, and then there will be a freeze after that, which is good news all round. Hopefully, that is the end of the ticket price increases for a while now, anyway. But at least that one is sorted. Well done to the supporters board for getting that one sorted with the club. Now, Arne Slot. Again, Arne Slot. It's always Arne Slot, isn't it? So, James Pearce has been speaking this morning, and he said, currently everything points to FSG sticking with Slot. Just how many times we have to read this? Anyway, if that position changes, then Alonso would be a strong contender, but contacts I've spoken to say there's a misconception that the Spaniard was Liverpool's first choice after Klopp stepped down 2 years ago. They insist that Alonso wasn't seriously considered because he had already made it clear he would be staying at Leverkusen for another season. Slot consistently came out on top in the different metrics Liverpool used in their data-led search for Klopp's successor. So, I understand that. I understand that, like, the job was never offered to Alonso. He didn't want to leave Leverkusen. But I would question, if you ran those numbers again today, with the squad we have in the position we are in, I don't think Arne Slot will be coming out on top. And that's the issue here. Or, like, if you're to believe that, you're to say that they didn't really do the metrics or the numbers on Alonso at all. So it wouldn't beg the question, why haven't we? Because he's there available and he's the obvious choice to come in. Like, maybe he's not the number one choice for everyone. I could understand arguments for someone like an Andoni Iraola or Julian Nagelsmann or whoever else you want to mention, but run the numbers again, and I guarantee you Arne Slot does not come out on top. In a situation where a team is struggling, a club is low on confidence, he's not the man to drag you out of that. Maybe Alonso isn't either, but either way, Slot is certainly not the man. So, James Pearce continued, Slot has made mistakes this season, but his stance until now has been that he deserves the opportunity to put things right. There's been a lot of talk about going back to a back three next season, but that's not a system Slot has favoured. I don't think anyone was speaking about a back three with Slot being here, but anyway. After Salah announced he was leaving in March, I was told part of the plan going forward will be a 4-2-2, with Isak and Ekitike paired, with Wirtz and Szoboszlai operating behind them. Ekitike's ruptured Achilles means they either need someone else to fill that spot or a different system. Either way, they have to buy pace. So if we are going to a 4-2-2, why are we being linked? Why are we being linked with wingers like every single day? We have Bradley Barcola, Andy Amonde, Jared Bowen, and the likes. Like, could someone make this make sense? And even there to say that you have to buy pace, but then they're also planning on using Isak, Ekitike, Wirtz, and Szoboszlai. Like, where's the pace there exactly? Other than maybe the fullbacks, like, just make it make sense. Like, again, like, no one was talking about a back three with Slot here. Like, everyone in these discussions were talking about if he's not here next season. So I just don't really get what James is getting at with that. But he does continue, and he was speaking on whether the team are still behind Slot, and this surprised me. So he said, "Yes, forget social media nonsense. I've not seen or heard anything to make me think differently." You haven't seen or heard anything, James. Not like the players arguing on the pitch, or just the body language being bad, or just the results this season. Nothing makes you indicate that the players don't trust in this manager anymore. Fair enough. Understandably, there's a lot of frustration over how the season has panned out, but I think he still commands their respect. I'd have to disagree with that, but look, James has said that's all. Is what it is, isn't it? So he continued then, in terms of why Edwards and Hughes still have faith in Slot, it's only just over 12 months since he surpassed expectations by winning the Premier League. Before that, the manner in which he had transformed Feyenoord's fortunes massively impressed him. Slot has made mistakes this season, but the stance until now has been that he deserves the opportunity to put things right. The only thing I can hope for in these like quotes and articles is that it's always like currently, up until now, in the event of, like, it's still a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, will we say? Like, there's a tiny bit there where you would think maybe there's still a chance. I really hope there's a chance he goes, because I can't be arsed to look at this football again next year. But speaking on that, Arne Slot is very keen for Johnny Heitinga to return to the club and has made this very clear internally, but this is dependent on Giovanni van Bronckhorst leaving for Feyenoord. Heitinga is torn as he still wants to become a head coach, and that's from Soccer News NL, which I believe is the Netherlands. So if Slot is to stay, I would say Johnny Heitinga would be a welcome addition back in. Like, it does seem like the players had a lot of respect for him. It does seem like he ran a lot of the training sessions and stuff as well last year, so maybe he would help. Like, I would feel ever so slightly better about Johnny Heitinga coming back in if Slot is to stay. Like, if Slot is here, I would rather it be with Heitinga rather than Van Bronckhorst, but ultimately I still just want him gone, and I can't even apologise for that. I just want him gone. I'm sick of looking at him, I'm sick of hearing him, I'm sick of listening to press conference quotes, I'm sick of reading the same articles every morning. Just get rid. So do let me know what you make of that James Pearce article. Like, do you think Slot would really be here next season? Do you think a 4-2-2 is the right answer? I think it can be a solution to some like questions or some games we can use that. But again, why are we being linked with multiple wingers if we're not even going to play with wingers? So do let me know what do you think of that, and do you think Johnny Heitinga would be a good addition back if Slot was to say? Because I really do feel like he would help us improve just a little bit. Probably wouldn't turn things around, but I would certainly feel a little bit better about Slot staying if he came in. More from James Pearce then on Caoimhín Kelleher. He said, Liverpool didn't sell Caoimhín Kelleher last year because they thought he wasn't good enough to be Alisson's long-term successor. They sanctioned the move to Brentford because he was desperate to become a number one. There was no buyback clause in the deal. See, that's where the questions come up. Like, it wasn't a question of whether he was good enough to replace Alisson. So why didn't we put a buyback clause in? Or, like, why didn't we make the decision to sell Alisson then, make Kelleher first choice, and go from there rather than let Kelleher go and then sell Alisson the following year anyway? You know what I mean? Like, if Alisson's going to be here for another 4 or 5 years, then yes, fair enough, sell Kelleher. But, like, surely the club knew that Alisson wouldn't be here much longer. Like, I would genuinely have rather sell Alisson back then when Kelleher left and kept Kelleher rather than sell Alisson this summer, because that just makes no sense to me. I think, like I said, if he was here for 4 or 5 years, I would understand the decision, but it just makes no sense to me. And certainly putting no buyback clause in there, that definitely doesn't make sense to me, because I think anyone could have seen this circumstance coming up where he went away, still impressed, still looked very good, and we're left scrambling for a new goalkeeper, because I don't think Georgi Mamardashvili has really convinced people just yet. Not to say he can't be that player, he can't be the player who can step up and replace Alisson, but from what we've seen so far, it's kind of hard to know, or it's hard to really put your faith in him being number one for the years to come. So let's see what happens with that one. Last up from James Pearce then, he was speaking on Stefan Bajcetic and Jadon Danns, and he said, the priority for Stefan Bajcetic and Jadon Danns is to be fit for pre-season in July before trying to force their way into Arne Slot's plans. After lengthy injury absences, loans in 2026 and 27 are currently viewed as the most likely outcomes for both players, however, not a certainty. Look, if we could just get the two of them back on the pitch, that would be great. Like, as even just playing and training, like, just get them back, get their careers back on track. Maybe they can break into the first team in the next couple of years. But Jadon Danns probably more so than Stefan Bajcetic at this point. I think Bajcetic's been out for so long at this point, and he's getting on, or he's not getting on in years, not that old, but you know what I mean? I feel like if we were to put money on one of these players making an impact at Liverpool, it probably would be Jadon Danns. But that hurts to say, because Stefan Bajcetic was fantastic. Like, every time he did play for Liverpool, I was really impressed. But hopefully, just for like the personal side, I really hope these two can get their careers back on track. Hopefully they're not like continue to be plagued by injuries, and we do see them playing, if not for Liverpool, then at least for someone else. Like, let them have a good career. Hopefully they do break into the Liverpool team, but who knows what the future holds. That's all from me this morning anyway. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Craig will be back with a video in the afternoon, live again this evening from 8:45, and the Chelsea preview will be out this evening as well, so keep an eye out for those ones. Thank you very much for watching, have a wonderful day, and I will see you very soon.